felt like I was giving my kids a lifelong disability. The letters PCD stand for primary ciliary dyskinesia. It's a genetic disease that affects the cilia.
Instead of the cilia doing the work of clearing airways, you have to do it manually, which means a lot of medications and treatments every day.
We had a 25% chance with every child that they would have it, and all 3 of our children got it. When my son was born, he's the oldest, he was basically born coughing, so we knew something was not right. About 6 or 8 hours after he was born, his oxygen saturation levels dropped, and they took him to the NICU to put him on oxygen.
The main thing is I tend to get sick a little easier than my friends, so I need more rest. I need to not run around in the rain. So just getting people to kind of understand that I can't do quite everything that they can has been the main challenge.
When Elaine was born, she's the middle child, they listened for her heart sounds. And Elaine is one of the rare people who were born with her organs reversed.
Because it's all of my organs, it hasn't really caused any issues. It's been a great fun fact for college icebreakers.
Grace, she showed all the same symptoms. The drop in oxygen saturation levels, the cough, the thick mucus, the sinus and ear problems.
It's kind of what's normal for me, but it can be a little bit of a hindrance, a little bit frustrating at times, but it's what I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
It was difficult, particularly when they were young. There were a lot of doctor visits, lots of shots, lots of time spent in the hospital. We had to be careful about being around other children who were ill. We were always having to be careful about that because for them to get a cold, it could be a lot more devastating than if a child just has the sniffles.
Now they've managed it, and we were very fortunate to have a diagnosis early. Not everybody gets that. We've been able to give them the proper treatment, the proper medications.
I can kind of walk you through a normal day, which would be waking up and immediately doing my therapy vest.
It takes care of what's called chest PT, percussion therapy. It fills up with air and then releases it very rapidly.
Along with that, I do a nebulizer, which is a bronchodilator, so it opens the airways so that the vest machine can actually work.
It's just a daily routine. When I wake up, I do my medication. Sometimes before I go to sleep, I do my medication.
I tell people a lot of times that it's basically like having a cold 24/7. So it may not look like we're super sick on the outside, but inside, it's harder for us to breathe and to clear ourselves out.
It's really nice having siblings who have the same thing because we can whine about it to each other. And we definitely know what it feels like. If I say there's a stabbing pain in my side, I don't have someone who goes, oh, get over it. I have someone who goes, oh, me too.
And my parents definitely, they did all the research that they needed to do and were very prepared to help us take on whatever challenges came up. But it is, what we have to deal with, and we are able to pursue what we want to, even despite it.
I am a self-employed artist. I just graduated from a 5-year program at an art school in Baltimore. So right now I'm focusing mainly on getting my work out there. I'm approaching galleries and just trying to make a name for myself in the traditional realism world of art.
So I go to Kutztown University. I'm majoring in communication studies with minors in public relations and professional writing. I really want to work in the publishing industry, and I want to be an event coordinator, and transitioning to college was interesting. Yeah, it was a little stressful, very new environment, but I was able to live somewhere that catered to all of my needs in terms of having the medication and all that there.
This summer I will be with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra doing Hairspray in concert, and then I will be with Gretna Theater doing their summer season, which is an outdoor theater. I did some musicals in high school. I started my junior year. I also did choirs from 9th grade on. It took a while to get up enough courage to actually go for it, but I've always loved singing. It's always something that I love doing. And once I did my first musical, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. It's a little harder to sing with PCD just because of airway clearance and getting sick a lot, that sort of thing. But singing actually helps your lungs a lot. It helps clear them out. So it's actually a pretty good profession for me to pursue because it helps me keep my lungs healthy. For the most part, PCD has I've kind of put it in the background and more focused on doing what I need to do.
You know, yeah, I have that, but I also don't want to make my life about that, so I'm going to go do this now.
They know it's going to be a part of their life, and they face it in a very mature way. I think it's given them a good outlook on life. Life is, for them, and for anybody really, has its ups and downs, its struggles and its sacrifices, and they learned, I think, in that way to handle sacrifice in a very mature way.
It's a lot of prayer and a lot of time working with them and trying to establish the routine so that it'll be a lifelong routine and not just one when mom's watching over them.
It's so rare that when even approaching new doctors, sometimes doctors themselves aren't familiar with it. I think if we can, make people more aware, then we'll better know how to treat it and how to live with it.